Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-eating, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Hey guys, my name is Super Mr. Walrus 11. Oh, never mind. Give me a minute.
That would forever
I'll be back.
change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Hey guys, my name is Super Mr. Walrus 11, as I tried to say earlier, but the announcer cut me off, dick. And this is the Stanley Parable, or Parable, I don't know, I prefer Parable. But yeah, since Amnesia has been deleting my saves, I'm gonna play this until I can figure out what game to play on Mondays/Tuesdays. Well, this will probably hold up, maybe.
What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But anyways, I'm gonna play this today since I can't figure anything else out to play. So, but yeah, I've played this once before and I raged. Oh, didn't try that. There's coffee everywhere.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Did I?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Number 1, Dad. Excellent. Good day. Good day.
To get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did I?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Bastard.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision.
Fuck!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Fuck you. I hate you. Ain't no one gonna tell me what to do.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Fine. Do making my way downtown, walking fast, facing fast, and down. Did I? Make my way downtown, walking fast, faces fast, but I'm homebound.
There was not a single person here either.
Tips to not get fired. Talk less, do unbelievable.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Target demographics, teenagers. Oh, I thought that said 420, 405.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Did I? Did I? Did I really?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy.
Am I circling?
Something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
I'm pretty sure I've been
And
circling.
As Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
I
Why
can't.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
I don't like this. I
And
don't like
at
this.
last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream.
Whoa! Dream!
What a
Bam!
relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer.
Yo,
And
this is getting annoying.
His co-workers weren't actually
Let me out!
lose his job. He wasn't
Let
crazy.
me
He thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake
out!
up soon. I'll have to
Welcome
go
my way
back to my
downtown,
boring
race
real-life
very
job pushing
yeah,
buttons.
yeah,
I
oh
may
yeah.
well enjoy it. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much
What?
fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
What?
And then perhaps the strangest question of them
done.
all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how
any
it's
soda?
describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
God, smite me
The
now!
voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside.
I'm terrified.
this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife.
I'm
and my
scared.
job.
What's about to happen?
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always
This shouldn't be
been.
happening.
My life is normal. I am normal.
Are you?
Everything will be fine.
You're talking to yourself. Nothing's fine.
I am okay.
No, you're not. God damn it.
Stanley began screaming. Someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss, I have an office, I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real, I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
There is no God. What?
And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
What?
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
So this is what happens with my life.
Crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
No, you're not.
I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I'd run too. I don't blame you. So I guess that was one of the many endings.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
Strife.
Mr. Memo.
Nope. This game.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
left.
doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his
We sell
boss's
pie charts?
office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yo, this is some swaggy ass digs. Did I just speak the word swaggy ass digs? Let's not say I didn't. Sharon, where are you? I'd have a secretary named Sharon.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
666.
Stanley simply began entering random codes into the
God damn it, I missed what he said.
knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be another story entirely. But no, this is what he was going to do instead. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer
Because I'm good. Whoa.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I don't like this. I don't like this. No, let me out. Please! Oh, what? This game. This game.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion.
Let's not do that ever again. Oh my god, I'm dizzy. Holy shit.
To question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years, it had never occurred to him. This question would not go unanswered for long.
That worked wonderfully.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nope. YOLO.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I'm okay with this.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point,
Nope.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
YOLO's wagons. I feel like I'm not dead? I knew it. Not
As
dead.
the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and
Oh,
closer to
fuck.
his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned,
Oh, God.
willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Please no!
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single
What?
visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly
What?
did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk
What?
has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
What? 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 Do? Corned beef, stole beef. No, but seriously, what? Ah! Let's go over this way. Oh, wow. Smack. Huh. Is this what heaven looks like to Stanley? My office. How do I get out of here is the question. Wow.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Deuces!
Can you see?
Oh,
Can you see how much they need one another?
never mind. Not deuces.
Perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now. It'll be your only true choice.
YOLO!
Don't choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't
Bring it, Wall! Huh. So, I guess I have to quit. Well, anyways, guys, my name is Super Mr. Walrus 11, and this has been one of the many, many endings. There's like hundreds from when I was old of the Stanley Parable. Like, subscribe, share my channel, videos, everything, anything. You guys make this all possible because you're awesome and such. Like I said, my name's Super Mr. Walrus 11, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.